Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We apologise for the slightly late starting. It's becoming quite a feature with us at the moment. There's the standard technique where we're left outside in the cold. Both of us start to quite need the loo because it's winter and we have small bladders. And then we have to go to the loo. And then we discover that the playlist isn't working. So basically, it's not been our day today, has it?
No, it really hasn't. Oh,
but we do have some stuff planned. We've got some great stuff lined up for you today. We've got some music, we've got some chat. We have some notes knocking around somewhere. Don't know if you can see them anywhere.
Wait, let me go find them. Oh, wait. Oh, I found them there. But check this out. I've got there's a giant, big, dusty book over them.
Oh wow, like leather bound, I reckon.
Yeah, it's quite weird. It's got this sort of, it's like Greek writing. I don't know. You're a classics student.
Aramaic. Let's have a look.
Let me blow the dust off.
Oh.
Wait, yeah, I'll pass it over. Check it out.
Cheers. Right. Yeah, I reckon that probably is ancient Greek. It's quite an unusual ink. I'm gonna say there.
Yeah, it looks like sort of golden. It's
gold. Well, I'd say more like liver cut, sort of brown, maroon, and
crusty.
Yeah, crusty.
Weird. Like blood.
Is that a platelet? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do science. If only we had a medical student here, we could find out.
My Greek's not very good. I'm gonna have to admit, I'm classics and Englishist, so I'm primarily Latin. But tell you what, throughout the show, I'll have a little go and see if I can translate a few sentences for us. That there word there means and that one there means that, and I think that one means righteous.
All some excellent words right there. Some of my favourites, and it's all good.
Oh, good stuff.
You can't do anything without and really.
No, it's true. Fantastic connective. One of my favourites. I also like but. I also like starting a sentence with also. Nah.
Oh no.
Just because I can. And ending sentences with also as well. Comma also.
My secondary school teachers would not have approved of that, Claire.
They would not. You know what else they wouldn't have approved of?
What?
I don't know. Lots of things.
Yeah.
Gays.
My secondary school teacher not even reminding.
You went to a very gay school.
These accusations flying around. I did indeed. I was showing Claire my our Leavers video was I kid you not, was a lyric edited version of High School Musical, as in what's it? We're soaring, fly, that thing. Yeah. Different lyrics, but a lot of spandex. More
spandex than you could possibly shake.
Oh yeah, it was a strange day.
A strange day, or was that every day? Every day was a day.
I was referring to every day. It was a collective strange day.
It's a long
my
day.
Entire secondary school career.
The long sunset of your school.
Oh yeah, Claire. Shall we? Speaking of such things, shall we give the outcome of yesterday's debate? We had some online voting. Yeah.
We had
last week's. That's the one.
For those of you who are new to the show, Ben and I have a thing where we both argue pros and cons for two humorously incongruous opposing forces. Previous things, we've had the Big Sheep Festival versus the Peas and Hall Pea Festival.
Oh, that was a wonderful
that was
one.
a good one, yeah.
Both very good festivals.
The Peas one, thank you very much. We've also had meerkats versus elephants, not quite as weird. Last week we had hipsters versus hummus. I was defending hummus against hipsters, and Ben was defending hipsters against hummus. And interestingly, the results have come in straight down the middle. Straight down the middle.
How many votes for each?
666.
Whoa, when you said 666, the book glowed slightly.
Really? Oh wow. Maybe James left it from last week.
Maybe.
Do you remember James? Listeners, do you remember James?
I remember James.
Whatever happened to James?
I remember him well.
Whatever happened to baby James?
Me and I turned into the. It was a crazy week last week. It was just.
Mental.
If you didn't hear it, your life, you might as well just kill yourself now. Really.
Oh, yeah, don't do that though.
Look, we need to get people onto the suicide hotline somehow. You know, they need stuff to do. So.
Not only the suicide hotline, but also our chat room, ladies and gentlemen. Hell yeah! Did you like that segue? I was quite proud of it. But yeah, get on the chat room. Go to www.oxideradio.co.uk/chat, or alternatively, if you can't quite handle the / go on to Oxide Radio, Google it if you will, and there is a tab in the right hand corner that says chat room. Go on there, give yourself a login name. It can be anything you like. Previous ones include Fanny Badgers, that was not us. And yeah, have a little chat with us. At the moment,
chat room.
It's just us.
Chat Room Weekly actually voted it the 15th best chat room in the country.
Really?
So.
What was 14th?
Oh, I think it was Spades Anonymous. There's like a little.
Spades Anonymous.
Yeah, it's like people are addicted to spades.
Addicted to spades. Wow.
They just, they just
call them spades.
They just get themselves into a hole and they keep digging. You know,
like very, very popular with ostriches, who incidentally do not bury their heads in the sand.
Don't they?
They're incredibly stupid animals, though, ostriches. They really are.
So you wouldn't put it past them burying their heads in the sand, but they don't do it on a regular basis.
I'll tell you when an ostrich would bury its head in the sand.
When?
You know that thing when you're at school and like you did something wrong. So I don't know. Say you put the date on your piece of work on the left hand side instead of on the right hand side.
No! Just the memories.
Oh god, I was caned
traumatic. Oh my god.
Yeah. And then your teacher would be like, "Why have you done that, fool?" And you'd be like, "Well, Jenny told me." They'd be like, "So, I suppose if Jenny told you to stick your head enough and you do that too." You'd be like, "No, of course I wouldn't, because I'm not that stupid." This was actually plausible. But anyway, if an ostrich, for instance, two ostriches, should we call them Jeff and Patsy sitting in a Longleat Safari Park, and then Patsy's like, Jeff, oi Jeff, go on, stick your head in the sand, Jeff, go on. He'd be like, "Oh, alright," and then do it, because Jeff actually is that stupid.
Yeah, bloody ostriches.
Yeah, I think I'd say bloody Australians. That would just be rude, wouldn't it?
No, I would never say that. I love the Australians. Shout out to our Australian viewers. Hello, you there, down under.
Do we have any Australian listeners?
Maybe. I don't know.
I have one Australian friend. How many do you have, Ben?
Really? I don't have any Australian friends.
Oh, we'll get you some Australian friends. Any
Australians listening? The entire Oceania hates me.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's tragic, really.
We're just logging onto the chat room ourselves now. What sort of nickname should we give ourselves?
How about ostriches can bugger off?
Yeah. I'll go for Jeffrey the ostrich.
Claire is typing it. She's 4 letters in. She's 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, she's 20. She's finished the entire thing.
I've clicked. We're connecting to server. It's some good stuff.
Oh, she's connecting to server.
Every time I come here, actually, it reminds me that I keep meaning to switch to Linux. Or Linux, however you wish to pronounce
it. Linux, mate.
Linux, yeah, it's where it's all at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
shout out to our viewers using Linux. Way!
Yeah. And
look at us for a conventional radio show.
On a Mac. It may overheat at any
point. No shout out to our
viewers
viewers on a Mac.
If we shout hard enough, it might suddenly break their Mac, and then they'll just be like, "Oh no!"
It is quite funny. We have a housemate who uses a MacBook Air.
I'm sorry.
Boasts about it all the time. Yeah, the bloody thing overheats if you watch a video on it for about 2 minutes. So he has to carry around. He goes on about how light it is, and then carries around. I kid you not, a heatsink that prevents it from overheating. That weighs about the same as a conventional laptop. Yeah. I literally no embellishment going on here.
I would say more than a conventional laptop. It's also like in a weird kind of spiral shape. So
yeah, it's not an attractive thing.
It's not a very nifty shape to carry. It's not really conducive to the rough and tough lifestyle of the average student.
Yeah.
I have an interesting discovery about Macs. I got an email today on one of these like university mailing lists that we always fall prey to. Apparently, Mac are offering 3% off on their wares at the moment.
Really?
That's incredibly generous of them.
Well, that's actually I actually remember the email. That is iPad 3% off iPads.
Oh, is that just the iPads?
iMacs are actually 15% off. And so
that's quite good.
I think.
It's interesting. iPads. I have a lot of problems with iPads. They're basically an etch-a-sketch for the financially precocious, aren't they? Businessmen and city boys do not realise what. I know I'm not really in a position to judge. I'm wearing pink hair and a pink skirt that clashes.
You're wearing pink hair. It's not real, Claire.
Oh no! I've been found out. Good lord, I've been discovered. But yeah, so I'm not really like the sort of, as my grandmother keeps reminding me, not really the cut and thrust city type. But people, you see them on the Jubilee line sometimes, or other line of your choice. Sitting there with their feckin' etch-a-sketch in front of them, being like, "Oh, look at me! My hands are so clean because I have I have antibacterial sachet in my pocket, and then they're just like doodling on that, playing Fruit Ninja most probably on their enormous etch-a-sketch, and then they're just so.
Fruit Ninja, not a real type of ninja. That would just be an incredibly ineffective ninja. Like you can't murder samurai kings using fruit. It's just not even remotely plausible.
It'll be like that episode of Blackadder where I can't remember, the guy who's in As Time Goes By is playing Douglas Haig, and he's talking about how wars used to be, and they fight pygmies with fruit. And he's like, that woman with a particularly sharp slice of mango could have killed me. It's all funny because it's not like that anymore, and there's guns and cannon fodder and.
It's funny because the world is a horrible place to live nowadays. So
yeah, the world's disgusting. I read a quote from George Orwell today, and it was, if you want to picture the human race, picture a boot stamping repeatedly upon the human face. I may have added the rhyme.
Really? I think it makes it better. It's now a Claire Barnes, a genuine Claire Barnes quote. Feel free to wiki quote.
A genuine aphorism.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to be have an aphorism to my name.
Sounds dirty, really. So.
Do you reckon?
A little bit. Yeah.
That particular one, or just aphorisms generally?
The word aphorism.
If it was analphorism, it would sound dirty.
Analphorism.
That's Oscar Wilde.
Yeah. What?
Oscar Wilde is famous for aphorisms, and he was also famous for
analphorisms.
For analphorisms. and handbags and green teeth.
The
I like Oscar Wilde a lot.
Claire, can you hear that noise? It's like...
Is that our listenership dying?
No, it's a tone. It's a tone dropping.
Oh. There we go. That was it.
That was a tone.
Straight in the floor there with the dusty book. How's the dusty book looking?
It's looking a bit scary.
I've Google translated a couple of sentences. It's a sort of weird hybrid. I think it's code. It's like a combination between ancient Greek hieroglyphics and Aramaic and some other language. I'm not entirely sure. Occasionally there's a drawing of a penis. I'm not entirely sure what that symbolises. It could have been added later by an immature schoolboy, for all I know. But so far I have translated blessed, or like holy, sacred. It's quite an ambivalent word. Ambiguous rather. Are the righteous, and that was the and I recognised earlier, and all enemies of the Almighty. And I haven't quite worked out what the Almighty thing is. It's either snake, sun, handkerchief, or boot.
Ah, Claire.
Yeah.
When you started reading that, it started like shivering slightly. Like I
Shivering,
swear
yeah.
it started shaking. I don't know what's going on, but it's just a bit weird, you know.
Yeah, I'm not enormously comfortable
It's just giving
with
off
that.
it's giving off an odd an odd aura, you know.
An aura.
I'm thinking I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna move it slightly further away from me.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll solve the problem.
Okay, put it right over your side of the room, right over there, right in the corner.
God. It's just an odd book, you know.
Yeah.
And ever since you said like 666, there's just been a slight glow. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like it's a bit dim, but
just out the corner of my eye.
yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Anyway, yeah.
listeners,
Well, I think we've just located the news this week. Every week we have a kind of charade where we
Beautiful.
try. Yeah, good stuff.
Oh, we're gonna do it completely successfully this time.
I know. Last week there was a monumental cock-up where, without my knowledge, Oxide had changed the jingle to the news, and so it sounded like the beginning of some form of classical music with which I was not familiar, and that was quite scary in itself.
Classical music just terrifies me in general. So.
Oh no, it's amazing. But so yeah, put it on. Thought I'd sort of put some classical music on by accident, slammed down the stop button, was busy apologising, realised it was just the jingle and had to replay the news, and it was all incredibly awkward. But now we do have the news, and with everyone's permission, I'm going to play it.
I think did everyone agree with that?
I think we're all cool with that.
Okay, awesome.
What does the book think?
It's just sitting there looking a bit scary.
Yeah,
really.
did you mean to put it like next to me on the desk? I thought you put it in
Shit,
the corner.
I put it over in the corner.
Wow.
That's
Right, well,
weird.
while I go and carry it into an adjacent room, let's hear the news. Okay, welcome back. We hope that was newsworthy and beneficial to you. We're just, during the news, we're talking about like our journeys down here today. As you doubtlessly know by this point, Ben does not have a bike at the moment. We don't like to talk about it too much. It does become quite a recurrent trope of our show, and we're not sure we want to.
Plus, it's just traumatic for me.
Traumatic.
The
He
memories.
always ends up crying, and it interferes with the equipment. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, to be honest, it's just a bike, isn't it? But talking of bikes, we live in Cowley, so obviously they have to cross the Magdalen Bridge, that fated division between the real and the not real world. Up to you to decide which is which. And as I was sort of walking round towards Magdalen Bridge, I went past the Iffley roundabout, which is, quite an exciting roundabout. Also, I also found out recently it's quite interesting to see whether you call it the Iffley roundabout or the Magdalen roundabout. If your loyalties lie in the Cowley area, you tend to say Iffley. If you're a bit like, what? Beyond Magdalen College? Well, that way madness and teenage mothers lie, then you tend to say Magdalen. And I tend to variegate between the two because that's just how I roll. But yeah, go around the Magdalen roundabout, / Iffley roundabout. There was a bloke on a bike. I was on my bike. He went round like 2, 3, 4 of the roads. I was like, okay, he's going to get off at this junction. Didn't. Proceeded to loop the Iffley roundabout like 5 times on a bicycle. As if he was getting some sort of sick kick out of it.
Why pay for an exercise bike when you can just go round and round in circles?
He was freewheeling, mate. He wasn't even trying.
Really?
Disgraceful. Dicing with death, he was.
Crazy guy.
Didn't even have any lights on.
No.
And a bit later, I saw a guy, you couldn't make it up, tweed jacket, suede elbow patches, cycling, arms folded, just because he can. I can cycle with no hands, as I found out recently, but I don't just show off about
You make it sound like it was an accident, Claire.
What, I found out recently?
Yeah.
Well, it did actually. I was in a massive hurry to get home, and I was like, these hands on the handlebars are hampering me. Ha-ha! And I flung them above my head, and it was delightful. But even then, I don't do it all the time.
Dangerous stuff.
I
I
don't
should
do it
point
in
out
front
that
of other people. I'm not a twat.